How do you feel about forgiving the people who hurt you?
This idea of forgiveness is central to our faith. Forgiveness ultimately is a way for somebody to be set free. It is a way for the past to not have a grip on their life anymore. It's the heart of the gospel, and that's the story that we wanted to tell, the story of forgiveness.
I first learned about human trafficking in 2004. I'd never even heard the term before. I was home from touring. I was watching my favorite television show, Law & Order Special Victims Unit, and they were doing an episode showing children being sold out of the back of a van in New York City. And I just remember thinking, if children were being sold out of the back of a van in New York City, we would know about it. I literally went to Google and Googled, what is human trafficking? And that is where I learned for the first time that there are more slaves in the world today than at any other point in our history.
Still Hope is a movie about a 16-year-old girl who, like most 16-year-old girls, wants to be loved and wants to be known. She thinks she finds that through a friend online, and unfortunately, that friend was not who she thought he was. Hope is taken through this journey and experiences horrors of this world that most of us cannot even comprehend.
Trafficking begins with a lie and a promise of love, and that really is the truth of how all trafficking begins. You see Hope come into that darkness deeper and deeper and deeper and really lose who she is. And that moment shifts something in that person. That moment where they're standing out at the hotel room door and they say, go in and do what she tells you to do. That was actually one of our young women's exact story. They're literally choosing in that moment between death, literal death, or doing something that no human being should ever have to do.
There's been a lot of other trafficking films that have told very powerful stories. Ours is different. Our story really gets going where most of them kind of end. I'm going to give it away, but she gets rescued. And so the rescue moment happens halfway. And I think most people aren't ready for that, and they think the movie's over. But the story that we're trying to tell is really the second half.
We get to look at her journey of healing and restoration, and what does that really look like when you've experienced hurt and trauma beyond anything that anybody should ever experience. As Christians, we like to throw around this word of forgiveness. Jesus forgave, we are commanded to forgive. And what does that actually mean? What does forgiveness really look like in practice?
How do you feel about forgiving the people who hurt you?
I don't think that's not going to happen. What they did was unforgivable.
We got to meet with the two girls that this movie was based on. At the very beginning, they said, we did not experience true freedom until we forgave.
When we can receive forgiveness and when we can give forgiveness, that is where freedom is. It has nothing to do with saying what you did is okay. What it has to do is saying, you no longer own me, you no longer control me. Because you can be free from your trafficker. I can be free from people that hurt or betrayed me, but you are not free if they still control you. And that is what forgiveness does. And that is why it is essential to a healing journey.
Hearing these women's stories and then getting to tell these stories has impacted me in ways that I really don't know if I can verbalize. I think when audiences see this movie, I think they're gonna feel very similarly to how I feel when I see this movie of, wow, like there is so much more going on beneath the surface of our world than what we think.
I really want audiences to walk away from the theater feeling encouraged and inspired. Forgiveness is for everyone, and that has been one of our main goals from the very beginning, is telling a story that communicates the gospel and the restorative power of forgiveness, and that God's grace is sufficient, and that's a radical idea.
It's actually really easy for the numbers and the issue to overwhelm us to the point where we stay paralyzed, thinking we can't do anything, that nothing that we do is actually going to make a difference. It's easy to see millions of people are being trafficked, but God sees millions of individuals, and we just help the ones He sends. that if we just focus on the one that we can help, the one life that can be changed, the one life that can be restored, then we understand that every single one of us not only can make a difference, we must.